We're good.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Red Corner. The Phillies stink. I mean,
Yes.
Absolutely brutal right now, right? So just got unequivocally just got swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates, one of the worst teams in the big leagues. Lost 9 of 10. It felt like a week ago we were at the top of the division. Now we're like 4 or 5 games out. Vibes are at the all-time low as far as this season goes. Guys, I got a nice little lineup for you as far as the kickoff question. But before we dive into this, how's your mental health doing right now?
It's not good because I'm at a point now to where, I'm in a dark place. Last week I came on here and I was giving love saying, hey, we're at a point where we have a competitive team and we got depth to look forward to the future with Abel, Painter, et cetera. We're going to be able to get these young guys repetitions in a competitive locker room. And now I don't want these young guys near these old guys. Right? Like they seem like they're losers.
Bones, where are you at, man?
Yeah, it's bad. Like, this is the worst stretch that they had in a while. I mean, losing 9 to 10. Pirates, one of the worst teams in baseball. You take away that Tuesday night game against Toronto after, like we said, they'll have the day off. Hopefully it works out. Well, they were good that night, and then after that, they were just poop. Offense just disappeared. How many runs they scored this weekend?
6.
Yeah. That's bad. Especially the Pirates, they got one of the worst bullpens in baseball, and they couldn't get a hold of Skeens, but they got him out of the game.
Right.
Couldn't score, and all weekend, same thing, like Bailey Falter. There was times where the offense had chances with guys on base, and they couldn't. It was yesterday, Alec Boom, guy on third, no outs, no runs scored.
Nothing.
I mean, it's bad. Like, all you gotta do is put a ball in the outfield deep enough to score the run, and they can't even do that.
100%. And you said poop. Poop is right. So they took away the poop scoreboard against the Pirates, and the team took over that. But anyway, guys, I see you in the chat already active. If you are here, welcome back to the Red Corner. Please hit that subscribe button. Please jump over to our Instagram, Twitter. We do it all. Guys, special occasion tonight. We got a Phillies giveaway.
Ooh,
so the best – let's show that one more time here.
Yeah, let's make sure we share the people that. The
best chat question, we'll vote on this at the end of the show of the night. We're going to send this over to you. So keep that chat activity coming. We see you guys, Bonzi, BD, and Jerry. So keep that coming. Guys, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the Pirate series, but before we do that, I like my State of the Unions. So let's do a State of the Union right now. So I summarized kind of the biggest headlines right now as far as Phillies go. And I want to know, Bones, we'll start with you. I want to know what you're most concerned with. And here's the list I came up with. Number 1, the fact that we just scored 6 runs in a 3-run series versus one of the worst teams in baseball. Number 2, the fact that Jesus Luzardo just allowed 20 earned runs in 2 back-to-back starts. Number 3, the fact that Bryce Harper is now on the IL and is seemingly injured guy again. Number 4, our outfield production, mostly focusing on center and left. And number 5, bullpen. I'm just going to say bullpen. Where you at?
I would say the Bryce Harper injury. I mean, apparently this is dating back to last year. And it was been hurting him this year. I don't know why it just came up now. Like, even after he got hit in the arm, why didn't you just put him on the IL if you knew that he was hurt then? Instead of just giving him a couple days off.
Right.
And it just seems like it's every year it's something with him with his injuries, and it's just like injuries that linger, or like they'll stick around. It's not like something where he just gets the 15 days off, he's back, he's good.
Right.
Like this, apparently this has been all year. So it's just he's the offense. Like everybody, like the whole lineup changes with him there, and him being hurt all the time, it really hurts him.
It
Honestly,
really does.
Bones, you all year, you guys pretty much not Devo, but Bones. Sometimes you talk crap on Harper. That right now is full blown panic season. You listed 5 things. It's all 5 of those things that are a problem. The reason I just can't single out Harper as the biggest problem, even though we talked about the last episode what he does with the lineup when we saw him miss those 6 games. They haven't
Right.
won a game. They haven't won a game when he's not in the lineup. But with that being said, even when he's in the lineup, this team is not good enough. Period. So it just can't be Harper's injury. This team's not good enough with him in the lineup. This team's not good enough when he's playing his best baseball like he was two summers ago. Because last summer was similar to the team we were looking at now. It wasn't the same. We weren't the best team. Factually speaking, the only 2 good baseball players we have on this team is Schwarber, who doesn't even play defense, and Turner, who some would say doesn't even play defense. But there are only 2 real good players. So I'm real worried. And, I don't want to get lost in the sauce, but I counted 7 teams, I think, in the National League that are better than the Philadelphia Phillies.
Wow. And, we're not fact checkers here on the Red Corner, but just to clarify, the Phillies are 1-7 without Harper.
1-7, pretty bad.
Which obviously is not good. But yeah, so Slim, you hit on a really nice point last week or the week before, and I just want to reiterate that. Without Harper, it's the domino effect, right? We now have other guys taking at bats that they normally wouldn't take, right? They're seeing pitches that they normally wouldn't see. And this just goes to show how big of a hole he creates when he's not in the lineup.
And we have good teams coming in. We got the Cubs coming in. The Cubs have been they were kind of like the Mets. They weren't able to sneak into the playoffs last year, but they were hotter in the second half. They got themselves even better now. They're coming off a series where they scored well. It's going to be a tough series, and the question is,
It is.
All right, we got Wheeler. Great. I'm happy to have him back. We're still going to always have that anchor of good pitching. I was asking myself earlier today, that run we saw about a week and a half ago where we captured the best record in baseball for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the best run we're going to see out of our team all year? Because if so, that's a problem. I don't think so, because this summer I'm anticipating a healthy Wheeler, Painter, Suarez, hopefully maybe Nola, and then Harper coming back with Schwarber and Turner all clicking at some point this summer. I do think we see that, but the way this team looks right now, it's hard to envision them as a playoff team.
I don't disagree. And guys, chat, wanted to remind you, I love what you're bringing to the table right now. Reminder, best question of the night will win this hat. Guys, let's just jump into some of these chat questions because they're teeing up to some of the stuff I was going to ask anyway. Jerry, just with a quick comment here, there is no heart on this team. Don't disagree at all. BD Jones, who is the big splash trade we can make to turn this around? So here's the biggest thing, right? Number one, Jerry also asked, do we think it's time to sell? And then we have Shane in the chat saying, yes, it is. I mean, I'm not there, but obviously the biggest name that's getting thrown around there for the Phils to sell is Ranger Suarez, right? He's probably our most valuable trade piece as far as a big leaguer goes. Let's just hammer that. Right now we're not at a surplus of pitching, but are you in this? Do you think we should trade Ranger?
So I was on here literally last week saying I like him as a re-signing him. Really, I really would like to bring him back. He has the softest hit balls in all the major league, I think, and we've seen him back-to-back weeks go 7 innings, look great again. He's kind of like I think his composure is better than Cliff Lee. He's kind of like a watered-down version of Cliff Lee, in my opinion, with the tenacity, all that kind of thing. So he's a guy I will kind of want to keep around. With that being said, if we traded him because he's going to be wanted,
yep.
I think we could get a steal, and we got a bunch of guys. I'm talking. I wouldn't mind. I don't care how we get rid of these dudes, and there's a long list. And the list starts with Castellanos, Bohm, Stott, Weston Wilson, Brandon Marsh, Rojas, all these guys. Who even cares what we get in return back? You know what I'm saying? But a guy like Ranger, we can get some really core foundational pieces that can build with guys like Abel, Miller, Turner, and in my opinion, Schwarber.
Bones, where are you at on Ranger right now? I know this can
like
change.
you said, he's probably the most valuable piece we have to trade. But if you trade him to a team, it's obviously going to be to a contender. So hopefully, like you're trading them out to an AL team because you won't see them possibly till the World Series.
Right.
Because you don't want to trade them to a team that he can come kill you in the playoffs.
But what about the best prospects? You hear with with the drafts, they say take the best available. If we're in a place where we think we're going to be not winning the World Series, why wouldn't we get the best available for Ranger, even if it's an NL team? I don't know who's out there, but that's where the market might get hot. We'll say, hey, we're open to the NL, and then the NL might start outbidding one another. And we know, I think the Dodgers have arms, right?
The Dodgers have no arms. They got 15 guys on the DL.
A lot of injuries over there
in their system. Because we're looking ahead. I don't think people think this team's going to win a World Series. Unfortunately, they could, but we can't sit here today and act like that.
No, but I don't think they're not going to put themselves in sell mode.
No,
because of the amount of money they have invested in this roster.
Oh, they might put themselves with Ranger Suarez just letting him walk for nothing mode, and then they're really going to look dumb.
I mean, So what are we, about a month and a half from the trade deadline? Look, the only way we would ever sell is if we went into absolute dumpster fire, free fall between now and then, right? And then you have to sell. That's just the way the game works.
What's the schedule look like?
I mean, that's a good point. So we got the Cubs, Marlins, and then I believe the Blue Jays coming up. But I wanted to hit on this.
Blue Jays, Marlins.
Cubs, Blue Jays, Marlins, correct. Yeah, so I almost sounded off and did one of my, debrief videos on Twitter the other day on Justin Crawford. And we got a lot of chat activity on that, right? Like our top outfield prospect right now. And it's funny, I was about to press record, literally, on Twitter, and then we did the Otto Kemp news that we're bringing him up. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to do that. So here's the point. We talked about this last week, right? The biggest thing is left field and center field. We're getting bottom 5, bottom 3 production in the major leagues, right? We all know that. It's been going on forever. So the reality of the matter is, at this point, it's all on Dombrowski. Rob can only put the guys he has on the roster out there every night. So right now, the gun's getting pointed at Dombrowski on that one. So here's the thing. If we're not going to make a trade until the trade deadline, how do you not bring up him and just see what he's got? Because that's where we're at. Where are you guys at on that right now?
Bring him up. He can't be doing worse than what being put out there. I mean, it's crazy at this point because you go to left, you go to center, and there's zero production.
I'm 100% with you. I'm with you. The only issue I had now is bringing him up in a bad situation. No one on this team's hitting. Like tomorrow night, we're going to be going against a team that's scoring a ton of runs recently. What's our lineup going to look like? It's going to look like what today looked like: Turner, Schwarber, Bohm, Castellanos. That those lineups are not getting it done. And then plugging Crawford into that, I'm not sure if we're doing him any favors. That's all.
I'm not sure if we're doing him any favors, but here's the biggest thing. This is what you hear about Crawford, right? Everyone loves to say, oh, yeah, he hits too many ground balls. He's got the unorthodox swing path, all those, analytic stuff that get thrown out there, right? And I hear that loud and clear. But the biggest point with him is everyone loves to say, oh, he's batting 340, 350 in the minor league hitters. Newsflash. Every single player that has ever been promoted to the major leagues from the minors, they had to hit minor league hitters at one point. So you got to give him a chance first, right? So, we don't know if he can hit major league hitters until we put him up there. And I like a nice scrappy hitter like that who can run. He can, beat out infield grounders, stuff like that to build his confidence. So, I don't know, man. I'm looking at Marsh, Kepler, and Rojas every day, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of looking at them out there.
No, I'm with you. I'm ready for it. I'm not sure how much it would help or not help. It would be nice to give someone else a benefit of the doubt because these guys have ran out of that.
Yup. And we got Shane in the chat saying, yes, put Crawford in center, keep Kepler and Rojas for bench outfield, and blast Marsh to the sun.
But what about this? Let's be honest. If we're ranking outfielders, Kepler's, Marsh, we can throw in Crawford. But what about the guy we got rid of, Cody Clemens? He couldn't be playing left field or even right field at this point because we saw, and I hate to say this, Nick Castellanos has shown up again the last 2 games looking like crap. He struggled today defensively, letting the runner advance on the bobble and on the throw, and then leaving Bohm on third base. That was one of the lowest lows of the whole year. And he's a guy who this year I think had 5 strikeouts swinging against the Braves in April, and then today, a dude who's always striking out swinging, he strikes out looking. So the whole idea of we thought them having their approach back, it goes. Well, I'm not even going to say the relief pitchers are good for this team. Because the excuse was they used to be able to have good approaches against bad pitching, but today I'm not saying these guys were even good pitching, good relief pitching. So I don't know. I'd rather have Clemens over Castellanos. I'd rather have Clemens over Marsh. I'd rather have Clemens over Rojas, and I'd rather have Clemens over Kepler, and it's not even close.
Yeah. Every time you see a home run hit by him, and he just hit one off Hoffman, last night?
Yeah, so he has 6 home runs already. And what does Castellanos have? 4?
Probably like 4 or 5. Yeah, not great. Bones.
Yeah, Clemens has an OPS of over 900 right now.
And we were all excited for this guy a month and a half ago too, but it's time for him to go back down to the minors and never be seen again. Weston Wilson, all right? After the Weston Wilson play in the outfield, and like we said, we hit on it. He's supposed to be able to crush left-handers. I didn't go back, but since he came up, we've only had 3 hits. I don't think he's added any hits against lefties. So yeah, he has to go back down. He has to go back down.
Yeah, it's just funny. We had a whole podcast dedicated to Weston Wilson, but all right. So quick things in the chat here, and then we'll move on here.
Well, he made Clemens vulnerable, right?
Well, I mean,
he bendable in ways.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the fact that we basically gave him the benefit of the doubt, right? He won the job based off of past performance, and then we basically said, okay, when you come back from your injury, you're the guy, and he hasn't played to deserve that at all. Not on offense, not on defense. Let's go through some quick ones here, guys. So Shane R with a clarification. Casty has 6 home runs. Thank you. We need a stat guy for the chat, so thank you for those clarifications.
Castellanos just had 4 hits the other night too, so
he's terrible. You're not going to sit here and defend Castellanos after the last 2 days. He striked out. That was the biggest spot of the game.
Striked out? What are you, 5? He striked out? What are you, 5?
Well, face the facts, because you're not going to face him. You sit here and you lollygag, and you don't make any points. Week in and week out.
He's batting 280.
And
He's batting 280.
What's his WAR this year? What's his WAR? And let's talk about what he did.
WAR's a stupid stat.
What did he do Saturday night?
WAR's a stupid stat.
All he had to do was make contact, just like 2 years ago in the playoffs, and he couldn't. We had the game-running run on third base, and he striked out looking, right? And you're going to defend it. And then today, what does he do? He can't even field a ball. I sit here. I watch Tatis play right field. I watch Soto play right field. I see all these guys.
Soto plays right field? He stinks in right field.
He's much better than Castellanos. Much better. Especially with gunning guys out. So I don't know how you guys sit here
and hold on here.
So positive on Castellanos and the Phillies, but it's ridiculous.
First of all, Rojas is your boy, right?
What about?
You just muted yourself.
Yeah, you just muted yourself.
What about Rojas?
He stinks.
He stinks. He stinks. I'm with you. He stinks. What about Castellanos now? We'll sit here and wait. What about Castellanos?
He's batting 280.
Wait, first of all, you're comparing apples.
The last 2 games
you're comparing apples to oranges.
He cost us the last 2 games versus a terrible team.
Castellanos is who we think he is. He's an average.
He's worse. He's actually worse. You guys hold him up because of a couple moments, and his moments aren't even big. He has a couple of game-winning moments in the regular season versus bad teams.
Wait, hold on.
Guys, and everyone praises the guy.
Wait, hold on.
Stinks. He's worse. He stinks.
He doesn't stink. He doesn't stink. He keeps muting himself.
He stinks big time. He stinks big time. And you guys
Dude,
had nothing to say.
He's an average. You need to divert that energy to Rojas and Kepler. Your boy Kepler. Your boy Kepler stinks.
None of them should be playing. None of them should be playing.
You had Kepler hitting 25 homers 2 weeks ago.
Shouldn't play. Rojas shouldn't play. Castellanos shouldn't play. What about you guys now with Castellanos? It's been 3 years of it.
Castellanos has.
And again, no, let's take it back to the beginning. Against going right way back with Arizona when Rojas was behind him and everybody said, we should hit for Rojas. We should pitch for Rojas in the playoffs. No. We should have pitched hit for Castellanos because he looked at every outside swing. We had one out at that time. All we needed was contact. We should have put in Jake Cave to get the contact, and we didn't. That's the one thing.
Slim is a man possessed right now.
And now he's playing in Korea. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Fast forward 2 years later, Castellanos is doing the same exact thing, but not in the playoffs against one of the worst teams and worst organizations in all sports. And you guys are saying it's okay. I don't get it.
Wait, first of all, get a drink of water, please.
He's having a bad couple days. He's literally just had 4 hits the other day.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
In April, he had 5 strikeouts swinging against the Braves, who stink. He stinks.
So, here's what Castellanos
You say WAR don't matter, but it does matter.
Here's what Castellanos is. Castellanos is an average MLB player that gets paid $20-something million.
He's having his worst year. He's batting 280.
But that's all you're saying. He has.
You know what you're getting out of Castellanos. You know what you're going to get.
No, I'm actually expecting more home runs than 6 at this point. I'm expecting more than 6.
Okay, what about the rest of the team?
I'm expecting better fielding. I say the rest of the team stinks.
From
I said we got
Castellanos.
2 good players, and you guys sit here and defend Castellanos left and right. It's honestly terrible takes. Terrible.
You're defending Schwarber. Schwarber just fucking went 1 for 20.
Tip jar.
He went
over this weekend.
He was.
Because he had one homer yesterday.
He had a huge clutch homer. You're right.
In the first inning, that was clutch.
Yeah, it was.
What's so clutch about that? That's the first time I ever heard of a clutch first inning home run.
I'll tell you
what did they do after that? They did nothing. They did absolutely nothing.
Bones. This is why it's clutch, because every time the lineman goes around, Schwarber is the only guy we can rely on. So every time he comes up, he needs to be clutch 4 to 5 times a game because of guys like Castellanos who we can't rely on. So every time Schwarber comes up, we need a little something.
Hold on.
And most of the time, he gives it to us.
Schwarber has struck out in 50% of his last 24 at-bats right now.
He's having an awful June. And you're calling Schwarber one of the best players on the team.
Yo, timeout. He's our best player. He is. He might be having a tough little stretch, which is nothing. Do you want to talk about
what's that difference between Castellanos?
What's the difference?
A tough little stretch. It's the same thing.
Bro, he has 6 home runs. Home runs. He's terrible in the base pass. He's terrible on defense. He strikes out. He strikes out looking. He strikes out in the same fashion every time. Guys, I'm making a point right now.
You're barking up the wrong tree because you're acting like none of us.
No, you guys don't hold Castellanos accountable, and you haven't for 3 years.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Go back 3 years ago. We have a contact situation. We need contact. First off, outside swing. We know it's coming. Now, 3 years ago, he couldn't do it. Right? 3 years ago, he couldn't do it with 1 out.
Castellanos.
And then Friday night, he couldn't do it, and he was so scared he didn't even swing this time. And we need a contact. It's terrible.
All right. Let's move on. It's
terrible.
This. You made your point. My thing on the Castellanos. Hold on, dude. You made your point. Hold on.
Right.
You made your point. The biggest thing with you is you're acting like you're not having a good faith argument right now. You're acting like anyone.
I am.
No, you're not. You're acting. First of all, you're not letting anyone get a word in. That alone is. That alone.
Because you guys spin the
conversation. No, you're not letting anyone get a word in. You're not letting anyone get a word in. No, because you don't want to hear the counter argument. That's a sign of what's that a sign of? Weakness. Yeah, that's right, Jerry. Mute him. No, I'm not a muter. Here's the thing.
But
you're
Jerry,
acting like anyone. You're acting like anyone on this podcast has ever said that Castellanos is like a top 10 player.
Yeah.
We bust your chops because
You guys
we
don't
know you don't
criticize
like
him
him.
at all. You guys
No,
don't
we do
criticize
criticize
him right now.
him.
Right
We
now.
do
You guys don't
criticize him.
criticize him. He's saying he's as good as Schwarber.
No, he
literally
didn't.
saying
He didn't
they're
say.
saying he's
He
good
did not
here.
say he's as good as
basically
Schwarber.
Basically saying he's as good as Schwarber. He said
No, I'm
he's a
not.
reliable player. You're saying he's good. He stinks. You guys won't say he stinks. You guys have no qualms with what he did. He cost us the last 2 games versus the damn Pirates. And you guys are okay with it. And you guys are twisted and going other places. And he's
First of all,
So you want to blame a team scoring
You're wrong on that. Stop
6 runs in a weekend on one player.
He had the go-ahead run in the 7th inning. All he had to do was make contact, right? But he's so scared of swinging on the outside pitch that he watched one go right down the pike on him, bro. Right down.
All right, well,
So it's Castellanos' fault that the Phillies bat 170 with the bases loaded.
Bro, no, it's his fault that he can't make
Okay.
contact when we have runners in scoring position. Look at the numbers. Look at
Yeah,
the
well,
strikeout numbers.
Get in line with the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's nothing. You have nothing. Well, he's batting. He's going to be batting 4th now.
all right.
He's our biggest problem.
Here's the
He's
last
batting
thing to say
282.
on that. If you were to go around, here's an easy one for you, right? If you were to go around and play the blame game, right, how many people would you say above Castellanos? I'll start. Left field, center field, catcher, second base. So now we're at, what, 4 or 5 positions? So by default, Castellanos. Well, so you think
no. Right field
Stott
is
has
just
stunk.
as bad as left field. Right field is just as bad as left field. And center field. They're all bad.
It's not even close.
Castellanos has been better than Kepler this year.
But not better than the platoon is right field. That's left field.
Wait, what?
Yeah. The right field production defensively evens it out with whoever's
You're-
playing
you're-
left field. It really does.
You're zoning way too much in on defense. Center field has stunk at defense. Center field has stunk at defense.
This defense cost us the game today. It cost us the game today. Today. Against the Pirates. Like, what do you guys? And I watch games. Like I said, I see other right field.
How many games did you watch?
Games. Big things is our hitting approach and our defense. And Castellanos is red flags on both. Holy heck.
All right. I know I've said this 5 times, but let's move on.
You guys drink too much of the Kool-Aid.
No, I just gave you a fact and you didn't want to accept it. I just named 5 positions that you would blame before Castellanos.
No, you gave me an opinion, but that's not a fact. And you're wrong because the production in right field and left field, they're both to blame. And I told you why. At defense, I gave you a fact, and you said no. You went defense doesn't matter. Yeah. It does.
I didn't say defense doesn't matter. You're comparing defense, and you have
Kepler's better at it than Castellanos, and that evens out their production. Look at the WARs.
He's definitely, first of all, he's definitely better at defense. There's no denying that.
Especially when it comes to platooning the left field with the right field. Without a doubt.
All right, let's move on.
One of the worst years I've ever seen. One of the worst years I've ever seen.
For who?
The Phillies.
In general? Dude, we're like 10 games over 500.
We're about,
You're out of your
we're
mind.
8 or 9. We're about 8 or 9, and this next month we're only playing. We got 1 series versus Miami and 1 versus the Braves. Everything else is going to be real tough.
All right.
You guys are going to be big wrong.
Oh, hold on here. Now we're all out of whack here. All right, guys. Let's do the Field of Love segment. We'll do it straight from here. So that was good. Let's do a breather. Let's all do a. Okay, so as you guys have all heard, Love City Brewing is our official brewery partner, and they treat us well, and we treat them well in return. And with that, we do our Feel the Love segment every week. Bones, who are you feeling the love for this week?
I think there's only one person to feel the love for this week, and that's Mick Abel. I mean, came back up, had his second start of the year against the Blue Jays. Should have got the win, didn't get the win. He went like 5 1/3. I think 11 1/3 innings without giving up a run to start his career. Still hasn't given up a walk. So I'm gonna go with Mick Abel as my feel of love for this week.
Alrighty, and Slim, who do you got? Castellanos? And you're muted. He's muted one more time.
Mine is, I was giving myself a 5-minute break because honestly, you guys came in here and I can't even say.
You're going to go back. You're going to go back to it again. You have no self-control.
No,
I thought
I'm not. My field of love is Ranger Suarez.
There you
Ranger
go.
Suarez, again, his last two outings, 7 strong. He has, his, like I said earlier, the softest contact in baseball right now since he's been back up. If we do end up trading him, I hope it's for the best available prospects. Okay. To get myself excited for the future, because it's going to be hard to say goodbye to Ranger. It's going to be real hard to say goodbye if we do that.
Well said. My phone is absolutely blowing up right now. I'm getting sent Slim screenshots of him flipping out. I got people texting me that I need to be saying Castellanos for my field of love based off his 40th game. So keep the texts coming. And guys, I'm sorry I've been neglecting the chat. You know, as you've seen what I've been dealing with. But
Ben Simmons,
my field of love. You said Ben Simmons.
It's Ben's the net. Go ahead. We'll move on.
You're just randomly saying Ben Simmons?
No, because the delusion with the Phillies fan base with Castellanos is Ben Simmons light.
You're not having a good faith argument. You're not having a good faith argument. No one thinks Castellanos is a top player. No one thinks that.
No one's. I hear you. I didn't say there. I didn't. Relatively, the amount of love he gets, right? Because like I said, he's
been pretty consistent this year. That's a safe statement. That's a safe statement.
Below average.
He's all right. My field of love is Justin Crawford. Guys, how exciting would that be? The guy's tearing it up in the minor leagues. We need a jolt of energy into this major league team. Let's have everyone looking around them. You know, no spots are guaranteed anymore. Let's have Crawford come up. I'm feeling the love for you, son of Carl. Carl was always one of my favorite players to support from afar, of course. And let's bring him up. Guys, let's look at the chat, and then we will transition here because we've had a lot of chat activity. I got to go back here. So Mike Foley in the chat. What are some realistic targets to make this team better, and how long do you think the Phillies winning window is open for? Realistic targets. I'll start with you on that one, Bones.
So the one name that keeps on getting thrown around is the one from the Orioles, and that's Cedric Mullins.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of an upgrade he's going to be. I think the outfield market is pretty stiff right now, to where it's not much out there.
Right.
Maybe they look at Jared Dorn out there in Boston. But I don't know. We'll see. It's pretty tough. It's usually a mark you got to hit during free agency, and apparently the Phillies have missed it the last couple of years.
But here's the truth. This is where we're at now with this team, and you guys obviously I don't think actually see it. This next month, our only bad teams we're playing against are going to be Miami, and it's going to be the Braves, right? And they're going to be tough series regardless. This month could be bad. We don't know how long Harper's out. So like before,
that's a good point.
Are we going to be buyers or sellers? And if we think we're a playoff team, kumbaya, that's cool. But if we really don't think we can win the entire thing, what should we do? And I think that looks, if we have a terrible month, I'm not cheering for a terrible month, but if we have a terrible month, it's time to potentially fire sale, like I was saying before. Get whoever we need to get rid of. And does that mean mixing up the core big time? I think it does. Suarez, trade him for a prospect. Don't re-sign Ramuto. Maybe trade him out to a contender. We got to wait for Harper, all this stuff. Yeah, but that's how I would look at it. Because at this point, the only people I 100% love on this team going forward is Turner at a new position, Schwarber, the young pitchers, stuff like that. So I don't see anyone. Well, Nick Castellanos is another guy we can just get rid of. And he was honestly a mistake signing years ago. He just was. And one of my field of loves would honestly be for Turner because we see Turner gets more hate than Castellanos. Put it like that.
That is true. I'll meet you in the middle on that one. There's no denying that. Let's
not after
let's
this month. If we drop another 10 games, Shane says he thinks we're far away from that point. Far away from what? If we're far away from admitting it, but we're at that inflection point now, right? This is the problem with teams because the owners are going to want to make more money, and they're going to put hopefully they can try to put above average product out there to get to the playoffs. That won't be successful. But right now, if you look at it, they're definitely not a top 6 NL team and a top 8 team if you're being nasty.
Ron in the chat is reminding us it's only June 8th, guys. Plenty of ball left. That's correct. But Slim, I'm with you, man. We're definitely at an inflection point, and this bullpen stuff has had me. I've been crying about the bullpen for at least a month and a half. And honestly, I'm still crying because I don't feel good at all. The Luzardo stuff has me worried. If I need Luzardo to get back on the mound soon so I can see him throw the ball and not let up 9 runs. Can we get maybe 5 runs? I'll feel good about that.
Luzardo, I think it's hilarious because they were saying people were blaming his Cy Young and his numbers on Rob Thompson. And then he came out there every next start and looked like crap again. So we don't have to hear his. They were saying, "Oh, what if when in his negotiations 2 summers from now, are they going to bring up that start?" It's like, well, it's not even going to matter because let's look at all evens itself out.
And sorry for the fireworks in the background, guys. This is City of Philadelphia. You know how it is. Shane in the chat saying Luzardo is tipping pitches. Yeah, that seems to be the recurring theme going around there. Anytime a Phillies pitcher gets rocked, they're tipping pitches. And honestly, a lot of baseball people are saying he is tipping pitches. I mean, the guy lit up 20 earned runs in two games.
Yeah, that's bad.
I got to ask this because there is a couple people in the chat asking, is it time for thinking about a new skipper?
I'm not a huge topper guy. I didn't like the bullpen game. I don't love everything I see from him, but for real, like I said, this lineup stinks. These guys aren't as good as we think they are. It's hard to blame him when he's getting ugly vegetables, is what I'll call them. They're ugly vegetables. I don't know if I blame Dombrowski or I don't know what the conversations look like that brings the talent here, yada yada yada. But no, I don't think it's all Topper's fault, and I don't think we fire him.
Wait, why do you hate the bullpen game? What's the reason behind that?
Because
who are they going to start there?
Bring a starter up. We called up 3 different people this week. One could have been another starter. Could have brought up another starter. I don't know. But instead of throwing away the game, because look, that we had a starter. Maybe we win that game 4-3 or 4-2 because Pittsburgh can't hit. We saw that the rest of the weekend. But we started Joe Ross, and now we're down 1-0. Then it was 2-0. And now we got Tanner Banks coming in the 4th inning, letting up home runs.
Whoa. Repeat what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
who rung the bell?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the issue with the bullpen game. They're just stupid.
And a reminder, folks, Tanner Banks is a stamped slim guy, too. A stamped slim guy.
So I'm here to name his misuse, right?
Yeah, you're right. Steve Kaz in the chat saying Ron Hell, Pete is. By the way, has there ever been a name that's harder to say than that guy's last name, Ron Hell? Like every time I look at it, I'm just like, I can't wrap my mind around it. Alan Ron Hell. I want to say Angel every time. Anyway, so let's get back to talking about the trade deadline, because Slim, you said something that really jumped in my mind. Bob Nightingale of I believe it is USA Today, one of the big insiders for MLB, reported that the Phillies will be a very aggressive at the trade deadline for a center fielder and a bullpen. Right, no surprise there. But what I was getting at, Slim, is that going to be too late? Do we got to make a move sooner rather than later? I know in baseball it doesn't really happen, obviously, for the leverage, buyer, seller, you don't really know who you are thing. But can we get a little bit unconventional here and try to get something going? Because we have a lot of gaps right now, and we don't have Harper for God knows how long.
Well, we've been looking at, I mean, since the beginning of the year, we've been looking to see what center fielders are out there for us. Bones mentioned Cedric Mullins. He's just not a guy I love at all.
No, I don't love that at all.
The sexiest name, but he's going to be hard to get, is Rodriguez out in Seattle. I think that's a name that I could potentially get behind. They're not doing as hot as they probably would like. That's another organization that kind of falters a little bit. So maybe we could use and abuse them and get maybe Rodriguez over here. I don't know what that looks like whatsoever. But I'm going to harper back to my point before. This next month's going to be huge because I opened the show saying I'm hoping this ain't that little run of baseball 2.5 weeks ago wasn't the best the Phillies had. The hope of that being that when Harper gets back, when Painter gets up, when Wheeler and everyone's hitting, that maybe we look great again coming late mid-July or August. But if we look terrible this month, we're really be banking on having a great August or a great July. So I'm really
absolutely
there, and I don't know who's out there for us to get the relievers. I would be down with Chapman, but all these relievers, they remind me of defensive backs in football. They have one good year, and then next year they're terrible. We're seeing that with all the guys we have: Estevez, Strom, Hoffman. We see this every year with these dudes. One year they're good, one year they're not, especially when they're moving teams.
100%. And guys that see you in the chat, we got a show to run here, but reminder, best comment or question in the chat wins this hat. Foley in the chat saying if you trade for J-Rod, it's going to be a big haul. Absolutely it is. Bones, around the corner. What do you got for us this week?
Around the corner, it's what do we got? For one thing I want to talk about, the Zach Wheeler thing. This paternity leave. My man was on paternity leave last Tuesday. I don't know when he had this baby, but most jobs you get 2 days if you get 2 days. This guy needs to come back. He needs to come back. I don't know. He should have been pitching this weekend. Too long. Doing TikToks with his wife and the thing, but 6 days later, still not here pitching. I don't get it.
It's funny.
I don't get it.
You're the father of the show, so you're the one that has to speak on that. I felt out of place, but
no,
I was looking at the calendar, and I'm like, look, dude, you're making $40 million a year. I mean, I want you to have a healthy baby and all that. I know it's number 4 for him, just like Bones. But 2 starts, no thank you, right? But he's back tomorrow, so knock on wood.
That's who you should have been blaming for the bullpen game and not Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
What is up with all the baby stuff this year? You said you tweeted out Devo and our Red Corner account. You don't remember so much rain early on in the year. I don't remember so much baby gimmicks, baby TikToks, pink baseball bats for gender reveal parties. Every other week we have something going on with a Philly player having a baby.
Good call.
I don't know. I don't know about these guys anymore.
I mean, this is my thing. For me, it just comes down to dollars and cents, right? We're in a rut right now, and Wheeler did not. And again, listen, I know he's the real world. He wants to be there for his wife, all that. But you open the can of worms, so I'm gonna bite on that hook here. Here's the reality: if you miss 2 starts during this rut, that's a huge swing, right? That could be like a year. Not to be dramatic, but that's true. Like you can miss the playoffs from that stuff. Seriously.
So if he would have played this weekend, he would have had that bullpen game. Bones, is that how that would have looked?
Yeah, that's how he would have been pitching. He should have pitched on Tuesday night.
So that's that body is on him. I mean, it's an L that's on him.
My official stance was you get 1, you don't get 2. So
no, I don't know. These guys, they're getting paid millions of dollars to do this, and they have a lot of There's like teachers having kids, right? They have 6 months in a season, right? 9 months playing that kid around, then 3 months where you're off, or else come play baseball for me. You only pitch every 5th day.
Well, how about this?
You only pitch every 5th day.
All right, well, here's the other counter. What if he has his wife in his ear saying the baby's doing this, the baby's doing that, is the baby healthy, and he's not thinking straight on the mound, now he's getting rocked. So, because I'm looking ahead, he's starting in Chicago tomorrow. That's a tough spot. It's possible that those last 2 starts, he would have been in the right headspace. Third start, he's now pissed off, and the Chicago hitters are going to be eating at him. So,
Yeah.
it goes both ways, Bones. It goes both ways. And
Not to me, it don't.
timeout.
Yeah,
Timeout. I know. I don't even come at the teachers. I don't even want to know about the friggin' fat ass truck drivers and what they get for paternity leave. Those union truck drivers.
I don't get nothing.
Yeah, he didn't say anyone specific.
It's maternity leave, not paternity leave.
Whatever.
All right,
I don't
let's-
take it.
Let's reel it in here, boys. So, Bones, we got Ron in the chat agreeing with you on that because he's saying especially pitchers, with the schedule. And they got Willie
Every
D
fifth day.
coming to Wheeler's defense here. Ha ha ha! Blame the team for not showing up, not the guy who had a kid and being with his family. So listen, we like to present both sides. I do see both sides in that. Like I said, my official stance was I'll give you 1. I'm going to get petty at 2. I'm glad it didn't come to that. So, anything else on around the corner?
No, but the other before we
You
touch on it,
didn't even do that yet. You didn't do it around.
no,
the corner.
that was part of it, and the other
Okay.
it's more so with the Phillies.
Okay.
You were talking about the should they fire Rob Thompson, right?
The
I don't
chat.
think Kevin Long makes it back home tomorrow. To me,
No way.
yeah,
Interesting.
like this is something we talked about all off season, and then once they were hitting a lull in the beginning of the season, well, something's got to be done, and this is when they fired Joe Girardi a couple years ago, right around this time. So somebody's got to get fired and got to make a move, and it's Kevin Long's the obvious choice here to me.
Interesting. I think it's either Kepler, Marsh, or Rojas are going to get, something's going to happen to them. Like one of them's got to eat it. There's got to be an accountability. Rob was asked after the game, obviously, as we touched on earlier in the chat. Rob was basically asked, "Hey, what's going on?" Right, and he was short. He's still the kind Canadian that he is, but he was definitely a little short. He basically said there's a lot of things that he's thinking about, and that was in response to the lineup. So I think we're expecting to see a Turner in the leadoff spot, and I'll raise my hand. I was a stock guy. In the beginning, I looked like a smarty pants when the team was playing good. Now I don't. So Stott has stunk the past 2 months. So you got to be Turner in leadoff. So anything else on around the corner? You're saying no, Bones.
No, that's it. I just want to touch on them guys first.
Steve in the chat saying Ricky Bowe alluded to big changes tonight. I would not be surprised at all, Steve. I mean, we're at an inflection point. So I think Slim hit it. You got to make a move right now before it's too late, right? We're not going to wait until we lose 5 more games.
And chat and Red Riders and all Philadelphia and even the Mets fans who are popping their heads in this chat. I want to apologize, and I want to give kudos to both Devo and Bones for putting up with my little temper here. But the energy early on was a little low, but you guys have definitely picked it up, all right? You guys have definitely picked it up. I can see the red in your faces now, okay? Because that's where we need to be, and that's where we need our boys to be. We're the Fighting Phils, remember. We're the Fighting Phils.
And this is the Fighting Phillies podcast. Slim, keep that energy. And, guys, if you want to see him at a tailgate, what you just saw right there was nothing. He goes crazy at tailgates. All right, boys, let's preview the upcoming Cubs series. And by the way, it doesn't get any easier, guys. It does not get any easier. So we have the 40-25 Chicago Cubs coming here. I'm going to go through the starting rotations here, matchups, and then Bones, I'll kick it over to you. So tomorrow night, we got Wheeler versus Matthew Boyd. Tuesday, we got Mick Abel versus Colin Ray. Wednesday, we got Jesus Luzardo versus Ben Brown. Bones, where are we at on this series?
I mean, this team can hit the ball, so if the Phillies need to come out of their rut starting tomorrow because this team can hit it. And as you can see, the Phillies certainly ain't. Pete Crow Armstrong, a little fun fact, his mom is the mom of the manager from Little Big League.
Really?
Yes.
I think you used that before, bro.
Yeah.
Is he doubling? Oh, yeah, you're doubling up on the
Yeah.
little fun
Well, it
fact.
comes back up. Well, Cubs.
Yeah.
But he's one of the hottest players in baseball. He has like 15 homers, 25 stolen bases, something like that.
He's a stud.
Kyle Tucker, another outfield potential for next year. Phillies could have had him. Phillies could have had him this offseason. Decided to not go after him. But yeah, they can hit the ball. Carson Kelly, off the catcher, has a little pop in it. Of course, a lot better than JT has these days. So Philly's got their hands full with this series.
Sure do.
I think this is a great. Ooh, I'm hearing a little bit of an echo, but I think this is a great.
Keep going. You changed something because I started noticing it recently too. So something changed on your end, Slimmy.
Yo, can we still hear it?
There you go, baby.
All right. Well, I think this is a great time for us to just double down on our brand, which I think is going to have to be the starting pitching, right? We got Wheeler, and then we got the young knight, Mick Abel, who I'm hoping can keep looking great. If he can do that, maybe we can win some games, 3-1, 2-0, something along those lines. If we're going to win games with the pitching, we're going to need Topper to be pressing all the right buttons with the bullpen. And then we're going to have to probably play a little bit smaller ball. All right? So you guys take this, and should I have my echo on or off, Devo?
You should click it. Click it.
Should I have it on or off?
You should have it. You should be checked. Check it. And it shouldn't have had to change anything. But I did notice something on your. All right, so.
Yo.
There you go. This is live television, folks. Sometimes this happens. And guys, just so you know, the thing we are, if you think you see some intense arguments on the show about the Phillies, we battle about audio and video before. Battle. And never Slim either, guys. And as I say that, the dogs are barking. Guys, all right, let's move on here because this is actually getting ridiculous. So let's get to Slim-Pick-Ems, but bad timing because the star of that show is Mr.
How do
Slim
I sound
over
now?
there. You sound fine.
All right, I think you sound good now. I'm not sure what happened there. That was a little odd.
Let's do Slim-Pick-Ems here, baby.
All right, Slim-Pick-Ems. I'll make it short and sweet. I'll tell you what. I gave you out 4 teams last week. They basically went 2-2 for me. So I was 2-4 for the weekend. And once you count the double downs, we lost 4 units. So for the year, I am 33-70 for minus 17.36 units. All right. With that being said, it's time to get serious. We just need one sweep, and I think we got it coming now. We got 3 games, and I'm so tempting. Because as those double downs, if we were done triple downs, they would have hit. But we're not going to do that yet. Not yet. We're not there yet. But if we get to August, we're going to have to start doing the triple downs. I hate to tell you, fam and chat, but we're going to do triple downs. But tomorrow, I hate to say it, but we're taking the Cubs minus 1.5 against the Phillies. I don't see where the Phillies are going to be scoring. Like I said, the only person who's clutch on this team is Schwarber. Every time he comes up in the order, he has to be clutch. So I expect us to lose tomorrow 3-1 Cubs. If they lose, double down. Dodgers, I like the Dodgers tomorrow minus 1.5. They should be plus 135. And last but not least, the very feisty Miami Marlins plus 160. So as soon as Bones comes on, I can hear it back. So they're my 3 picks: the Cubs, the Dodgers, and Miami Marlins minus 1.5. Double down. They should be plus 190, plus 135, and plus 160 respectfully.
Guys, you know the drill here. You ride with Slim because the red corner always does. The guy he's been coming to face the music every single week, and he's starting to heat up. Unlike the Phillies, Slim is heating up. This has been a very, very fun episode. And Slim and Bones, do me a favor. I want you to scan the chat and pick the best comment of the night, because whoever wins that comment is going to be winning this right here. this nice little Phillies brand new hat. You know we love our hats on the red corner. So scan that chat. We'll pick the winner, and then we'll close it down for the night.
Oh, let's see.
Slim, make sure you're looking. It's between you two. This is on your. You guys can talk it out.
I'm going to go with Jerry Bart. Mute him, Dev.
Yeah, that was a good one. I don't think Slim's going to agree with that, though. And Slim, you are muted right now, just so you know, Slim.
Yeah, he is.
You are muted, Slim.
I tell you what, I don't think it's the best one, but we got Family Man Dolan. First, he's sticking up for Wheeler, and now he's sticking up for Scott for sucking for 2 years, and he has family issues too. So I didn't know Scott had family issues. So that's mine. Do you want to be a tiebreaker there?
All right, so it's between mute and Willie D on the family comment.
And Willie D saying Scott has family issues too. We all got family issues.
All right, so I'm supportive of the family stuff, and Jerry has been a previous multi-winner. So let's go.
I was joking with that.
All right, well, let's go. All right, Willie D, congratulations. You have won this brand spanking new Phillies hat. Guys, let's close it down with the only way we know how on this show, and that is on this day in Phillies history.
This is a very soft day in Phillies history as far as games-wise, but we got a couple transactions here. On this date, 1999, you put up yesterday or 2 days ago to name Phillies great names, right?
Yep.
Well, here goes one blast from the past. Amari Telemaco, claimed on waivers by the Arizona Diamondbacks on this date, 1999. And on this date, 2005, the Phillies traded Placido Polanco to the Detroit Tigers for future murderer Ugueth Urbina and Ramon Martinez.
Oh, boy. After Telemaco, I was not expecting that one, but that's a hard turn. Another great name there. Speaking of great names and the shout out, so shout out Otto Kemp. We didn't get to speak about him too much. He hasn't recorded his first hit yet, but first 2 games, one being righty and Skeens, that's a tough spot for him. He got a walk, so he's got his first base. But shout out Otto Kemp, guys. This was a fun one. Chat, thank you. Anyone that's here, it's new. Welcome. Thank you for trying us out. Please come back. If you're here and you have not yet subscribed, please do that. It helps us. You've heard it. You know the deal. Chat, you guys brought the heat tonight. Sorry we couldn't get to every comment and question, but you guys were awesome. Keep that energy moving forward. Guys, let's send the positive energy to the Phils in this Cubs series. Go Phils, and we will see you sometime this week. Check our socials, and we'll post when we're coming back. Go Phils. See you guys.